My cousin's boyfriend took advantage of my underage sister, but my family found out and tattooed his crime onto his body. He got a taste of his own medicine in jail. My uncles and dad were gang affiliated when I was young. One day, one of my uncles threw a party for his daughter's birthday, and anyone who wanted to join the party could. This would lead to the worst time of our lives. My sister, who was only 13 at the time, joined the party as she was close with one of our cousins, and eventually fell asleep in her room. But the thing was, my cousin's room didn't have a lock, so as she was sleeping, she felt someone touching her. As she woke up, she realized it was one of our cousin's boyfriend, who was 19 at the time. My poor sister got violated that night and didn't tell us for a whole month. We literally sobbed and my dad was pissed. He went around telling everyone in the family because he wanted to do something about it. Word eventually got back to my cousin who was dating him, and she was heartbroken, but agreed that something needed to be done. She worked with my dad and uncles to set up her boyfriend. When the plan was done, she called her boyfriend and told him to meet her at a local park at 9 p.m. My dad, uncles, and their gang members waited in a small RV at the park, which was lonely, barely lit, and quiet. It was the perfect time to commit a crime. When the child lover arrived, all of them ran up to him and beat the crap out of him. They kicked and punched him until he was blue in the face. Then, they dragged him into the RV, where they continued to beat the crap out of him. But they were also driving to a second location. They were taking him to my uncle's place. Now, the thing with my uncle is that he was an amazing tattoo artist, so only he could get this part of the job done. Once they arrived at his house, my uncle was ready with all his tattoo equipment and gave him some new artwork all over his face, neck, head, and hands. He had child lover, pedo, pissed all over his body. He even branded his entire forehead with the words pedophile. He finished at 2 a.m. and then they dumped him in front of his father's house. He would be discovered by neighbors at 6 a.m. when the sun came out and people started sitting ready for work. To add salt to the wound, my father left a long written note on the door of the child lover's house, explaining what he had done and why he was branded for life. This led to his dad giving him his own set of beatings and finally kicking him out of his house. When we heard the news, we thought he'd be homeless and ostracized, but surprisingly, one of his friends let him stay with him for a while. This only lasted a month before he was found guilty on a people unaliver charge. Apparently, this crime happened 3 months before the incident with my sister. He was then charged with a second-degree person unaliver, along with a few other charges. He was then sent up to Chino Penitentiary. 2 months in the pen, he was R-worded, beat, and finally unalived by some African Americans. His death was caused by a screwdriver being penetrated into his chest 3 times. My uncles and dad have no guilt over this and are glad that there's one less child lover in the world.